Mike and Kenny on a Wednesday afternoon.
Sitting in the office on a Wednesday afternoon, me and Mike just jamming the only tunes, sipping on smart water.
I love it. New office. We're
New
here.
office, new us.
New us. We're better people in this office than we were in the old office.
I got water in my throat. Amazing. Yeah, we are better. We're better than a lot of people. And my baseball coach, Gus, he's better than you too.
Do you know anyone that's not better than me?
I don't know that many people.
So we're going to talk about the consolidated rules. Just dropped.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about it a little bit.
Yep.
But things are changing on the 4th of July. Man, it's going to hit.
Our country's birthday.
Our country's birthday. We're going to throw a party, just not in Utah. You can't.
Yep. No fireworks.
No fireworks. Everything's shut down. Spencer Cox is going to be like, no.
Yeah. My 12-year-old was like, you guys, why don't we just get drones and do like a drone show? And I was like, yeah, seems like a good way to spend money.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I do not want to watch a drone show.
No, I don't want to pay for a drone show. So.
Oh, they're getting cheaper and cheaper, which is also scary from a kinetic perspective.
Yeah.
You know, but also I don't want to watch a drone show.
And some of them are cool.
Yeah, like if you have like the Halo music going, sick. But yeah, I don't care to see a drone show.
It's not fireworks.
It's not fireworks.
It's different.
I know. There's no danger in a drone show.
Yeah.
For the most part, usually not.
If there's not a chance that somebody gets hit, then what's the point, you know?
Dude, we've had some good times. We've had some good times. Oh my gosh. We could go down there. But yeah, July 4th, we're going to celebrate with an optional early adopter day. So all stakeholders can start incrementally adopting or transitioning to the consolidated rules for 2026.
All the cool kids.
Yeah, and so there is a little trepidation still. Let's go back a year ago. What was the fear? Our agency is going to accept this? No, like how? Like what are you going to do? And we're like, once we understood the vision, we're like, they're absolutely going to accept this. This is so much better. And then we created something that was so much better.
Yeah.
And guess what? Yeah.
And it is better. The thing is, it's like we've said a million times, none of this is ever perfect. But the idea that someone at an agency was reading a 2,000-page document is not reality. And so what they were doing is they were trusting, like they would check the key parts, trusting the auditor, this is probably built the right way. And they were focusing on the poems, which were also a pain because the poems weren't designed well. And so you had so many deviation requests and exceptions and things like that they had to spend all their time reviewing. The move to 20X is more usable for the agencies, which means they are going to adopt it. Life is an incentive game. They want better software. And if there's a way for them to get it that also protects the data and makes it usable, they're going to do it. And we see it all the time. We have clients every day that are saying, yeah, Department of Energy, VA, whoever else, they're saying 20X, they're saying 20X, they're accepting our 20X. And so that whole conversation of like, will they, won't they, it's just not a thing anymore. And obviously there's some nuance with the Department of War, and Pete's been very clear, like they do what they want to do. We don't control them, but we're pretty bullish even on that front.
It is a different mission altogether, but the major detractors, the loud detractors, you know who you are. On LinkedIn, we're not friends, right? We're not friends. I don't like it because I think I know why you don't want it to succeed. You want it to stay exactly as it was. You want to be able to hire just a warm body to go through AC1 Part A, AC1 Part B, AC1 Part C, all the way down to SI 16. And you can go and say, well, I need to thoroughly address this requirement. Well, we've already addressed that requirement. I don't care. Like, we got to make sure to address it in the spirit by which it was given, right? And so I know something about the dark arts of this requirement.
It's kind of like,
I just can't stand that.
it's kind of like if you think back to like when the Wild West was, when the West was being won. And if you wanted to get to California for the gold rush, you had to hire a guide to take you through the crazy wilderness of the Midwest and the mountains and everything out to California. And the guys got paid really well because it was a treacherous journey.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody was like, what if we just built a highway and everyone could just drive themselves there? And all the guides are like, well, that's a terrible idea. It'll be so dangerous. And think how many deer will die on that highway.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, it's just better.
It's much better. And guess what? We can build cities along the way, right? And we can, they can start paying taxes and they can have police stations there and maybe even a hospital. We can put it there. We can just expand out, right?
Yep.
Exactly. There are people who definitely want to gatekeep their methodologies. They want to gatekeep the rules, and they want to keep people in the dark so they can effectively spread fear, uncertainty, doubt about what is going to be required. Oh, look, I get it. Yes, find the experts. We always say that. Like, if you don't know anything, well, you should probably learn something. And so another thing we've said all the time is whatever you abdicate, you should expect a mediocre outcome. And so what's the difference between abdication and delegation? Okay, so with effective delegation, you understand what you're going to get. You understand something about the process that's going to happen. You might not have to do it. You might not even know how to do it. You're going to say, like, I need someone who's competent to do that. But you do need to understand inputs into that process and the outputs that come out. So if you don't know anything about what's happening with 20X or anything that's happening with general risk management, why an agency needs to get comfortable with something, you're going to get mediocre outcomes. Mm-hmm. You're going to listen. You're going to get scared by people on dates and everything, right? And so, I just have a major problem, with that kind of thinking. And that's like the activist rage that incented me to like start this company. Yeah. Because like, it just makes me actually ill. It makes me sick. When someone will just try to get in the way of progress to protect their profits.
Yep.
It's not right.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the whole goals of this, everyone can align on what the purpose of 20X was, right? Like, agencies want better software. Mm-hmm. Everyone agrees that more companies should be able to sell to government, and the government should be able to have access to better software, mm-hmm. and that the process to do that was a mess.
Yep.
Even if they don't love 20X, I hear very few people that are like, Rev5 was perfect. Mm-hmm. It had no issues.
No.
So
you did say something about that. Like I wanted to actually click on. I hate that. Double click on this. Sorry, I apologize. But something I wanted to talk about was, you mentioned, is someone actually reading that 2,000-page document? Let me tell you my experience, with my team when we would do our third-party assurance. Okay. So essentially, there's so many softwares that are connected to cloud systems that what people would do is they would say, does this company have a SOC 2? And you would go through, that would be their third party assurance control. There'd be one. Mm-hmm. And you would see this dashboard. Does Okta have a SOC 2? Yes. Green, Does Amazon have a SOC 2? Oh, yeah, you bet. And then some people would actually read the SOC 2 and they would look to see, does this have any qualifications? Okay, no, this is an unqualified SOC 2. Okay, did I look at, what controls I'm responsible for? No, they didn't actually do that, right? Which is usually where the breaches happen, mm-hmm. right? So when we're thinking about risk management in federal government, I think we tend to poo-poo the idea like, oh, this is just like a check the box thing. This is something I don't really have to pay attention to. It's not really the case, right? In federal government, they're required by law to have a good understanding of what is their responsibility and what is the responsibility of the cloud service provider. What things are they inheriting? Having a clear understanding of all of that. And so a lot of people that are building these softwares, right, and building these solutions actually don't even have the empathy or understand what agencies need, right? They didn't understand what FedRAMP was. They said, oh yeah, this is just a check the box thing. If you go through this, it's more of a paper exercise, which to their credit, it definitely was more paper than actual value add.
Mm-hmm.
And 20X has flipped it on its head, right? It's all about what is the security capability you have. Tell me how that's implemented, people, processes, and tech. What is the data that touched that process? At the very beginning, I mean, it's just right on. And what we've discovered now, when we do flip it on its head, it's like, wow, there's a lot of gaps in the process. And so now we have time to focus on fixing those things versus, endless paper chase.
Yeah, it's spending time on the right things, and it allows agencies to spend time on the right things. We had a client that mentioned that by adopting, they kind of went through the preliminary exercise on implementing the VDR standard, which has a deadline in December now. And their on average, their timeline for issues and things extended by 46 days because they're now spending time on the right things.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's good, right? 100%. The old process pushes you to treat everything as risky. So in the new process, we can have the same vulnerability on a different box, and it's completely deprioritized. And you can have a lower vulnerability on an internet-facing box that would actually be higher priority now, right? So in the old way, you have a low impact vulnerability sitting on an internet-facing device, and you would get more time to do that, which is absolutely stupid now.
Mm-hmm.
So because of the advanced capability of AI, right now, in the new process, you would need to go fix that.
Yep.
As soon as possible, right? So that's an example of where you would need to get better. In order for that to happen, you're going to have to understand and better describe, what is in your environment. So a couple of the big things that happen, right? So let's talk through some of the dates. I want everyone to understand 3 big things, right? So the thing that changes, the big one is it's no longer the system security plan, it's the system security decision record. Tell me what you're gonna do is not as valuable as tell me what you actually do,
Mm-hmm.
and tying it to actual telemetry within your environment, right? That hasn't been possible with the old regime, right? So if you have to fill out a Word document that is system specific, maybe for a service offering, it's like literally impossible to do, right? Because you would have had to done it manually. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where like Paramify's first product market fit was in that, like, okay, yeah, we hate that too. We understand. What a stupid document. Don't worry about it. Let's focus on the telemetry, and that can be automated.
Yeah.
Well, now it's great because what we've always said from the very beginning is actually what we're doing now. So it's a system security decision record. That's the first thing.
Yep.
Second thing, SCR. SCR, this one was crazy, right? You would say, okay, I have a change that I want to make. It's going to be so awesome. You're going to all love it. Now I have to go ask everybody, is that okay?
Yeah. And they can stop your product development.
Yeah.
A lot of times not even with a no. A lot of times just with a
I didn't see
we
it.
didn't get to it.
We didn't get to it. So don't change it.
Yeah.
Which is, That's super clunky, right? And also could cause bad security practices as well, right? So you have an SDR process, dang, and that's a manual process. If what you're doing is manual, it's like a system security plan in a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet. So all of those changes need to be prepped manually. The 69 places where you're talking about your identity management platform, right? Okay. You're going to need to describe those, and what are the changes for, the responsibilities for the end user. If you're doing that manually, probably the things that we were looking at, SCRs, like the time to do that is just like so long. And also a lot of wasted effort. Right?
Yeah.
A lot of stupid things there, right? So now it's not the SCR. Now it's the SCN, right? Significant change notification, right? Where you're just telling people what changed. And the requirements there are going to be way different. So if you're not using modern security package management platform, like Paramify, or one of those other bleep, so if you're using Paramify, to do that, you're going to be able to notify on a continuous basis of what changed, because you have the snapshots of here's what it was yesterday, here's what it is today, all the way through your whole program, starting from what's the profile of the system, what are the stacks included in there, stacks of people, processes, and technology that have some sort of goal, and they're all working together within a system. What are the offerings that are in there? What is the data that comes into that? Then the implementation of the controls. And then what are the overlays within that, right? Maybe describing the interconnections of that system, the purposes of the system, encryption flows, data encrypted at rest, data encrypted in motion, data in use, maybe, what are the things that you're doing to protect that data? And then finally, you have your continuous monitoring. So if you have all of that tied into a program at the very beginning, you can literally just take the digital snapshots whenever you want, say what changed. And that's actually where AI is amazing.
Right.
I will give, it's amazing because AI can do a really good job at, giving an abstract of what's changed. Right? That's great. And then if they want to double click on it, you can go into that and you can see what changed. So that's going to be what's required. And you're not going to do that well in the old regime. So you got to get the budget and you got to start thinking about this stuff. Okay. So that's SDR. And then finally, we got the VDR standard, which we already talked about. Right? So those are the three things that we need to be thinking about with the consolidated rules coming out.
Yep. So if you're a cloud service provider, let's say you've had FedRAMP for, let's say that you'd had it for years. You've got a system that works within that game, right? Within the Rev5 world. And now you know that Rev5 ends in 2029 and all these things that you have to have VDR ready to go by December. Like, what would you suggest as like the first few things to start working towards or changing?
Yeah. So I think the very first thing that you should do is get really clear on what the risk profiles are in your company. And so we have a lot of material on this that we talk about all the time.
I just dribbled.
You dribbled. I actually want some more water too. It's a tough question.
Hydrator guy.
Now we talk about this all the time. What would you do? I would just be really clear on what data comes into your environment and then just follow it all the way through and just getting really clear on the components that you're using. So it's not that hard to do. You can use an Excel sheet to do this. I mean, I've done it so many times. And you can get a start on, what are the changes? And then there's so many tools that can help you today that can help you map that to the different requirements, right? So if you've already implemented FedRAMP, that means that you have these things.
Yeah.
And so we can do that really fast, right? We'll take your SSP and
super easy.
Yeah, get you started, and then you're just configuring, making small changes, and improving that system record. So you can get there pretty fast today with AI.
And it is one of those things too that like, if you're not working about it and thinking about it, those deadlines are going to come so fast.
Yeah. So let's talk about more deadlines, right? So we got July 6th is the initial implementation FedRAMP Marketplace's listings open. So FedRAMP will begin to allow cloud service providers in the initial implementation phases to be listed on the FedRAMP Marketplace following the initial implementation rules. Cool. This week. No, next
Monday.
week. Monday.
Week.
Yeah, Monday.
Yep. We're going to go celebrate without fireworks. And then Monday, everyone can be in the FedRAMP Marketplace.
Dude, it's going to be sick. July 28th. Oh, maybe we'll do fireworks that day.
Yeah.
Here in Utah. Maybe not. But that'd be sick if we did. FedRAMP Ready goes legacy.
Goodbye.
Bye.
What a sweet journey it was.
I know. Twice. Yeah. We let ours lapse. And then our people were like, hey, don't let it lapse. And we're like, well, do we have to? And they're like, yes. And we're like, fine. It's a source of conflict at Paramify. Anyways, I'm not sad about that. A paper chase.
Mm-hmm.
FedRAMP Class A pipelines open on August 3rd.
Now let's talk about Class A for a minute.
Let's do it.
So Class A basically is a way for a company, probably a really good way for a company that wants to explore selling into government and has something like a SOC 2 to put their hand in the air and say, I'm interested here, let's do this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you take your SOC 2, do a little bit of finagling.
Here's my path to getting, moderate or high or whatever else I'm going to go do. And then you're in. You can start selling. And
yeah, it's going to happen really fast. We're going to see hundreds and hundreds of Class A certifications. Call us. Yeah.
Should we give it away?
I think so.
I think we should.
Yep. Let's do it.
Okay. Class A's are now free.
Yeah. Give us a call. All right. August 10th, temporary Rev5 program certification pipelines open for Class B and C, not Class D. Dang it. Yep. So if you got caught in sponsor limbo, I understand. I'm sorry. If you spent millions of dollars on it, which I've talked to you, I'm so sorry. It sucks. They're gonna get you, right? And they'll push you through and they'll authorize you.
Yep.
So that's really awesome. They do not have near the staff that they need to do that, but they're gonna make it happen. I think that's amazing.
That actually is really cool that they're doing that. There are a lot of companies that fell into that spot and then got caught. Once 20X was announced and everybody stopped sponsoring, especially, there was a bunch of companies that we had clients that were at the 1 yard line. Ours.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're FedRAMP Ready. Yes, dude, you guys are so awesome. And then they're like, well, yeah, we're not going to do that.
We're not sponsoring anybody anymore.
We're not sponsoring right now. And we're like, why not? And then that's when we're like, okay, well, we better do 20X. So we thought about it for not very long. Jumped in with both feet, blew up our roadmap, and I'm so glad we did. We've done something freaking awesome.
It's incredible.
It's super sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is crazy compared to what it was a year ago. For everyone that looked at Paramify a year ago or longer, it is unrecognizable in a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, August 31st, 2026. Open the floodgates. That is when we will have the Class B and C pipeline open, right? So you can accept. So all these people that are prepping, we know a ton of them. They're in our platform. They are ready to submit. Ready to go. Fired up.
They got the fetchers humming. They got the validators humming.
Yep.
They're ready.
Yep. With their SSDRs.
SSDRs.
And their SCNs to come. Working on it. It's gonna be sick. Give me some time. And they're AI. It's so AI.
It's so AI.
AI.
That's the buzzword.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that the Allbirds shoe brand pivoted to an AI company?
Oh yeah, dude. Yep.
The ultimate pivot.
Yep. Noble.
Is that what it is now?
Yep. Man, posers, dude. Dude. If you saw me, when I was, 7th grade, like, just going out to the beach with my surfboard, I got a new surfboard. I was like, this is so sick. And I had my wetsuit and everything. I went out there. Everybody could see, dude, poser. And I totally was, because I would tell people, yeah, I surf, when I was little. If you're going to like me, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, after a while, like, it took me forever. I was like the biggest geek for the longest time. It took me forever, to actually learn, because I was on a short board and I didn't really listen to people when they told me how to do things. And so it took forever. But eventually I learned, and now I'm a person who surfs, and I'm not a poser, because I don't say that I'm good. And I try to be like super casual, but I'll drop in on some stuff. But
you break a rib here and there.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something so off-putting about posers.
Yeah.
Right? Someone who pretends to be good, someone who pretends to be. Fake it till you make it. We see you, man. We see you. It's okay to say like, hey, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Right? People are open to that.
It's good to aspire to things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. Hey, I'm just learning. People love that. But as soon as you say like, hey, I actually know what I'm doing, and then you don't, the credibility falls off a cliff, and it's really hard to gain that trust back.
Trust takes a long time. Trust matters. And also, this whole shift that's happening in the FedRAMP world is going to weed out a lot of the posers that are just trying to act like they know some secret to navigating it. And it's going to leave people who are mission driven and genuinely care about protecting the data, doing the right things, building sustainable, risk management programs.
Yeah. Trust is the golden goose, right? Do you remember that? I can't remember. Is it 7 Habits or something like that? And Stephen Covey talks about this restaurant that has this chowder that's freaking amazing. Lines out the door all the time. You could not get a table there. It's like, those famous barbecue places in Texas, like you just Franklin's or whatever, right? You just can't
sell out by
get
9
in there.
a.m.
Yeah. And so this chowder restaurant was like so good, and it was amazing. And then eventually like new management came in and said, hey, we can water this down, and we can push profits through the roof, right? And for a short time, that's what happened. It did work out, right? They sold a lot. But over time, people noticed, hey, this sucks now. This is not what it used to be. What happened? If you take shortcuts in this space, if you're taking shortcuts in your risk management program, in 2026, those things will be exposed. Either it's, through auditors, which hopefully it's auditors that find, the things, and you can work it out. But really in 2026, you'll probably just get breached. And then they'll be like, oh my gosh, like, well, how bad was this? What were you doing to protect this? And so it's not really wise to take shortcuts here, right? If you look at it as like, hey, this is an important thing, and yes, I want to do business with the federal government, there's a path, and it's not really easy. There's not an easy button to it, but there's a smart path, right? There's a smart path to do it. It's already hard enough. Don't make it harder than it needs to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The golden goose.
The golden goose.
Trust.
Yep.
Yep.
Takes a long time to build, very little time to lose.
Mm-hmm. And once you've lost it, man, that path is so much harder than if you had just started correctly the first time. Yeah. I'm glad we're perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of pressure, but I think we handle it well.
It's hard. Yeah, we've made our share of mistakes,
Yes,
right?
we have.
But they're very public. And so, yeah.
Yeah. We just don't make the same ones twice.
Yeah. Starting now.
Starting now.
Yeah.
From this point on.
Yeah. Ciao.